Hi, my name's Josh. Thank you for joining me for this presentation. This information that I'm going to cover today is going to be probably a little foreign to most people watching, but it's very important and really exciting, and it's very transformational. As you can imagine, AI is changing everything around us in real time. And if you're not using AI on a daily basis, I can guarantee you that there are hundreds of millions of people that are. In fact, there's a lot of data out there that shows that more and more people are going to AI like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini for answers rather than Google. If you are like me, close to the age of 40 or older, you remember a time when it was new and exciting to Google something. In fact, everyone was really excited when to Google became a verb in the dictionary. Well, now, 20, 25 years later, AI is taking that role. And more people are using AI to get answers to their questions. That's why they are called answer engines. And that's why SEO, which stands for Search Engine Optimization, is transforming into AEO, Answer Engine Optimization. What that means is SEO is just as important as it's ever been, if not more, because these AI tools are using Google's indexing to help generate results. But there's an added layer that us as marketers need to apply to our clients' websites so that those sites are getting sourced and seen in AI search results. And that's what we're going to talk about today is how can you get your business and its website and all the knowledge that you have cited on AI searches, whether it's Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, etc. And how can you track that? Because right now it's really hard to attribute a source of traffic from AI to a final purchase or client meeting or discovery meeting, whatever you want, whatever your end result is. And that's what I'm going to share with you today is a step-by-step process that we've developed that we use with our clients, but you can use yourself to ensure that your website is being seen by the AI bots and shown in search results. And I just want to show you a quick example. So I use ChatGPT all the time, and I just threw this in before the meeting, before our webinar. And it's a temporary chat, so it's not using any of my history. It doesn't know that I'm from a marketing agency. It doesn't know that I'm in Sacramento. And I just typed in, I said, I need help integrating my CRM with my website. We do this all the time. We have a team of developers where we integrate with CRMs, ERPs, etc., so that data can be shared between systems easily and automatically. So I said, I need help integrating my CRM with my website. Can you find a few web developers in Sacramento that can help me with this? This is, most people would go to Google or the prompt itself would be different in Google. It would be, I need a web developer, or can you, like, what are the best web developers for CRM integrations? And you could use the same prompt in AI and it would generate similar results, but people are becoming more conversational with AI because it's so human-like. And as you can see, it's very similar to Google in terms of, like, there's a map. And then if you go down, so there's our company, it gives a quick rundown of what we do. Notice it cites our website. You can get directions, website call. There's another company here, Capital Tech Solutions, great company. Bobby's the owner, really great company. These are web developers in Sacramento. And it allows the user to then contact those companies and get a meeting and start talking about what it is that they need help with. So I just wanted to show you that real quick because that is how people are using AI and will start using AI for everything. And there's a lot of studies being done right now because Google is losing traffic because of the fact that people are using AI to get the answers to their questions. So here we go. We're going to dive in. This is our playbook to get you listed in every AI right now. Some of it is very easy. Some of it is more technical. And if you have the people on your team to handle the technical aspects, awesome. If you need help with any of this, please reach out. My email is jhanish@329.com. Even if you just want to chat and be like, Josh, like, here's what we're doing. What do you recommend we do? I'd be more than happy to have a conversation with you. And my goal is that by the end of this, you will have at least a few actionable items that you can do yourself to help get your website seen more often on AI search results. Okay, so again, AEO stands for Answer Engine Optimization. And this presentation is basically going to cover our 5 steps on how we do this for our clients. So, whoops, going the wrong way, down. Okay, so here's why AEO matters now. And I've already said a few things about this, and I'll reiterate some of them right now and add on some new ones. But traditional SEO is not the game anymore. It is part of the game. It is the base layer of the game. The added piece of that is the optimization for AI, and we're going to go through that today. LLMs process data differently. So they basically, I mean, the way LLMs work, they mimic a human brain in terms of they prioritize authoritative sources in a way that the traditional algorithms that Google uses doesn't. They care more about the question cluster, and I'm going to use that term a lot, rather than like just the keywords that SEO normally uses. So we need to start thinking about searches in terms of question cluster rather than keywords. And I'm going to show you that, but what we do with our clients is we make sure that we are looking at the questions that people are going to be asking AI, not starting with the keywords. The keywords are important, they're in there, but that's not where we start. And then you base all your content on the question flow. And then the last thing is, this is cutting edge. I mean, most people I'm talking with have not even thought about their game plan for how to show up in AI search results. And they don't even think about how potential clients or customers will use AI to find them. A lot of people are still struggling with how to just incorporate AI into their daily life. But the people that are younger than me, so 40 or less, probably 35 or less, Gen Z and younger, they're using AI way more than everybody else. And we need to make sure that we think about them because they're the up and coming generation that are going to be doing business with us. So the first mover advantage is yours to have right now if you follow this playbook and get your site ranking for AI, because this is not going to be new forever. Everyone is going to need to do this, but if you can get there first, you will have the first mover advantage, just like everyone did back in the early 2000s when Google was really generating a ton of search results around websites that were playing their game. And unfortunately, or fortunately, the new game is AI that we have to play. Cannot seem to go the right direction, down. So here's a quick overview of our framework. We're going to talk about each one of these in detail today. So the first one is map the AI answer graph, and I'll go into that in more detail, but we need to look at what answers are AI going to be generating, or what could they be generating. The second part is you need to win citations offsite. So if you think of backlinking, it's very similar to that, and it includes backlinking. So I'm going to dive into that. Build LLM trusted content. That's just making really good content. And I'm going to throw a curveball at you when we talk about this, because, well, I'll save it for that step. Surface facts, technically. What that means is you need to make sure that you are using the language that AI uses to surface your facts on your website. Meaning, if an AI bot goes to your website and it can't easily find the answers because your website is technically difficult for it to get through, then it is not going to use your website as a source. So basically, we're going to show you how do you build your website so that all the doors are open, all the windows are open for AI to come through and grab whatever information it needs and take that back to the user. I always tell everybody, we're in the business of construction. It's just online. And the websites that we build are every business's virtual storefront. And we need to build that storefront accessible for humans and for AI bots to gather information. And the last piece is just, how do you measure this? How do you know if this is working? Whether you're doing it yourself or you're hiring an agency like ours, how do you know that this is actually turning into real results? And then how can you take the results that are working and iterate it forward? You think I would learn. Phase one, map the AI answer graph. So you need to conduct answer visibility audits. So you literally need to go into AI and pretend you are a potential customer or client and see what is coming up. Are you coming up? Are competitors coming up? Is AI accurate in the information that's showing? Is it even your website? So I was doing some work yesterday and I was looking at companies, and there were 2 links for a company that it wasn't even the company, it was a competitor. So how do you get rid of that? How do you make sure that your competitors aren't showing up with you? There's a lot to do with that. And a lot of it is from the technical piece of the website, or how you cluster the questions. Then you need to document and score the results. And then this is the part that is the most important, is you need to look at the cluster of questions, not keywords. So you need to think about, how is a company, like if you're B2B, how is someone from another company going to find your company in AI? What questions are going to ask AI? You can look at the prompt that I put into ChatGPT. For us, we do a ton of work with custom integrations for CRMs, ERPs, all these systems so they can talk to each other. We know that. So we've optimized our content so that when someone types in that phrase or something like it, or that question, our site is going to pop up. We optimize it around, the industries we serve, like construction, manufacturing. So once you have those question clusters, you can then start building your content, meaning you have a pillar page that is like the main question. And then you have other pages that are linked off of that are like, okay, well, if they ask this question, then the next question is going to be this. And then you link to that page that answers that question. Or you can actually, the best, I shouldn't say the best, but another way to do this is to have FAQs on your site. I don't think you need to have FAQs on every page, but if your question cluster starts with a question, like the main question, you can have sub questions on the page in a FAQ format. And AI loves that. AI loves lists. It loves obviousness. So if you can just make it obvious, that's like, hey, here's the answer to the main question, and then here are supporting question and answers, put that on your website. Okay, I did it. Phase 2, build content LLMs trust. So pillar content, you need to make sure that it is clear, it is accurate, that you are making it long enough, and make sure that you are updating it quarterly, I would say. You need to make sure that you show your authority. You need to make sure that you have, tables and graphs, and include external sites as needed. That all helps build your authority and trustfulness in the eyes of AI. The last part is structured narrative format, meaning the first 300 characters of any section, just give the AI what it's looking for. Don't make it hunt and search. Again, AI wants to take the path of the least resistance. If you make your website super easy for it to use, it will love you and it will come back and keep using you as a reference. people, human beings that are going to come to your site will feel the exact same way. So you're really building this to meet the needs of both AI and human users, because they're very similar in what they want. You also need to make sure that basically well, I'll get to that. That's actually it's in the next phase. So I was going to talk about the FAQ section. So if you're building a page that is an FAQ page, you need to make sure that the schema is for an FAQ page. So a lot of times when clients hire us, we'll go into their website to optimize it, and there will be an FAQ page, but the schema, which is the backend code that tells the bots what kind of page it is not an FAQ page. It could be an about page, or it could be a product page. Like if you had someone build your website who may not know how to use JSON, then what people are seeing, what the AI is seeing in terms of content will not match what the code is telling them on the back end. So the code on the back end, the schema, needs to match what the content is. The other part is you just need to make sure that your site allows AI bot crawlers. So you just need to go in there and make sure that the code is such so that it allows bots to crawl the website. We see this time and time again. A lot of websites come into us with basically it turned off, and we need to make sure that those are always on so that bots can crawl your site. And then the other piece is basically, if you have huge amounts of data, like in catalogs, so like if we work with a manufacturer and they manufacture thousands and thousands and thousands of parts, or a construction company has thousands and thousands of materials in catalogs, you can actually build custom APIs that are like these huge green flags that say, like, over here, AI, like all the answers to your questions around materials or parts are right here. So the scenario for that would be like, if you're a contractor and you need a certain drywall, you can ask AI, like, I need to source, 10,000 sheets of drywall for this project. Which company can provide that for me? If you build an API that says, hey, AI, come into our catalog, you can look for that really easily. It will go in, source that, and then tell the user, hey, company XYZ has what you're looking for, and then you will get that order. So that's an advanced technique, but it is really helpful. And it is something that if you have large amounts of data that your customers or clients need to sift through, AI makes that super fast for them to go through and find what they're looking for. And then the last part is just optimize site structure. That's what I said earlier about the question clusters. Try to guess the way in which someone would ask questions. So it's like, okay, if they ask this, then they'll ask this and ask this, and link your site appropriately. Okay, so basically phase 4 is winning citations off site. So this is backlinking, but a little different. So obviously you need to publish original content, and then you need to take that content and you need to seed it in Q&As, meaning go to industry related Q&A boards. Reddit is one that's not industry specific, but Reddit would be, it's like a Reddit-like website where people within your industry are asking questions. The best thing for you to do is be like, oh, we have that, and link to it. Because what happens when an AI bot goes out to find the answers to people's questions, they will not only just find the answer, but they will try to verify and make sure that it's a good answer. And how do they do that? By going to these third-party sites to see how many times you have been referenced in answers and the reactions to those. So that is something that is huge and that should be done on a regular basis. And then the last piece is just a normal PR campaign, just getting your content out there on the internet with linking that it links back to your website so that it shows that you are authority, you are an authority in that field. All right, last part, measure and iterate. So you need to make sure that you are tracking this to ensure that you are getting the data that you need to keep making decisions, moving this effort forward. So basically, like what we do is, so when we work with clients, we'll make this content and then we'll put it in the website. We'll make sure analytics are tracking it, and then we'll see how many hits that's getting, how much traffic is that generating, how long are they staying on the site, where are they going after they see that content. You can also see in Google Analytics right now, it will tell you which AI people came from. So if we go back to this example on ChatGPT, if someone were to click this on our website or click this button to go to our website, that would register in our Google Analytics it will say, okay, you got to click from ChatGPT. It'll do it for Claude, Perplexity, all of that. The other thing that AI is for, so if you notice, I'll go back to this. So at the very bottom, see where it says sources? It pulls from sources. This is our logo right here. I can't really see them, but obviously I know ours. And this lists all the sources, and it'll list it here, right here. It'll list it all. People can click on those sources, and that would count as traffic. But part of AI is all about visibility, meaning there are two reasons to rank for AI. One is for direct traffic. They see your link, they click on it, they go to your website. The second reason is for brand recognition. If people are running queries or asking ChatGPT questions, and they can continually see your brand pop up all over the place, that is important and vital brand recognition, because it is showing that AI values your brand all the time because your site is showing up in these different citations. The problem is normal Google Analytics they can't track that. We have actually figured out a way to track how many times bots will crawl your site. And so when we do this work for our clients, we can show actual click-throughs all the way to conversion. We can show a client, someone clicked on your ChatGPT link, they went to this page, they booked a discovery call with you. We can show that whole journey. We can also show, okay, you started working with us. Here's where your citations on ChatGPT were. Now here's where they are. Now here's where they are as we continue. So the goal is twofold. It is for conversions, obviously, but then it is also for brand recognition. And the more your brand gets used, the more people see it, the better it is for your brand. Because obviously marketing is psychology, and the more people see your brand, the more they will want to use it subconsciously. Okay, so how much effort should you put into each phase? We get this question all the time. Pretend this graph is a day. It's an 8-hour day. I'm not saying you should spend a day on this, per week, per month. It varies. But if you took a day, here's how I would break up the day. So the first part should be 15% of your day. Map the AI answer graph. This is where you are doing the research. You're trying to figure out how to structure your content in those question clusters that I talked about earlier. Okay, once you have that, the next part is you need to build the actual content. Okay, so this is where I was going to share earlier that I said, it's going to surprise everybody. Use AI to help you with this. We use AI to help us with this. It is okay to use AI to help you write content. There's nothing wrong with that. Here's what is wrong. is for you to type into AI what you want it to do for you and just blindly copy and paste it into your website. It's wrong for a couple of reasons. One is AI is not perfect. It's just not. I use it all the time and it gives me incorrect information. And you can't rely on it as if it was an expert that never makes a mistake. But you can use it to help you start. So I would say use AI to write 50 to 75% of the content, and then go in and make sure that you check it and add a couple of pieces to it or tweak a couple of things. Google and other search engines will blacklist your site if you generate spam content. They will not blacklist your site if the content you produce is helpful. So when a client comes to us, depending on their needs, we will use AI to help generate 50 to 75% of the content. And then we'll go in and basically seed different questions or keywords, rephrase things, add paragraphs, add tables, take away paragraphs to make it fall in line with the client's brand. It goes so much faster. It allows us to do so much more for our clients, and it should allow you to do the same thing. So don't be afraid to use AI to generate that content. Just don't use it blindly. So 40% of your day should be spent building the content and like massaging it and making it yours. 20% of your day should be winning citations off site. That's going to Q&A websites, looking at questions that are being asked, and then putting in answers that are linking back to your site. 20% of your day should be looking at your website technically to make sure that all the schema matches everything that the page is talking about. Meaning, if it's an FAQ page, make sure the schema is FAQ schema. If it's a about page, make sure that the about schema is being used. You need to make sure that your website is easy to use for AI just as much as it is for humans. And then 5% of your day, measure and iterate what's happening. Look at the data, see what's working, see what's not, iterate what is, go back to the drawing board on what is not working. Okay, last slide, quick wins and next steps. So here's a couple things that you can do right now to basically add value and ensure that your site is beginning to rank for AI search results. So optimize priority clusters, publish one page. Just take one question that you think users would be asking ChatGPT to find you and optimize a page for that. Build a new page for that. Shouldn't take too much time, but that's getting you starting down the path. Enable AI crawlers. Just go and make sure that your code on the back end of your site allows ChatGPT and other AI bots to crawl your website. Just go check. You don't know how to do that? Again, I told you, my email's right there, jhanish@329.com. Be more than happy to chat with you, talk to you about how we can help you. Just to talk more about this is a big topic. This is brand new. Can be uncomfortable sometimes because it's like, gosh, this is another thing that we have to worry about. The good thing, like I said, is it's not like you're starting from scratch. You're taking what you already know about SEO and just adding on this extra layer of AI enhancements so that your website is being seen by AI bots. Then the last thing you can do is to seed answers. So you just going to industry-specific Q&A page, a third-party page, great way to start building up that authority and that trust. So again, I would start here. You may not be able to do this depending on your technical expertise, but everybody can do this. This is so easy. You already have existing pages. You don't have to do anything to your website right now to make it more AI friendly, but you can go to these pages and start linking it. back, like start linking back to your website as answers for people who are asking questions. All right, I really hope you found this informative. I hope you didn't find it too overwhelming or scary. It's not. It's just a little bit extra step on SEO, and we're here to help. So again, if you want to talk, if you need to talk about this, be more than happy to chat with you. I appreciate your time watching this video, and I will see you next time.